They say you need to make a TikTok exactly as you are. I just woke up. This is what I look like. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna put my 2 cents as somebody who does get rental assistance, as well as food stamps, as well as works full time, as well as a single mom, as well as no child support. I'm also in school. I forgot to tell you that. I'm also in school. I do have my mom for a support system, thankfully. But I have been looking for a second job because I don't want to be one who is on the system for 10 years. I don't want to be one who is living in housing assistance for the rest of my life. I want to better myself. I grew up in a family where everybody, other than a few people, were on assistance. I watched my aunt work her ass off her whole fucking life. And she got to a point when she was struggling, she couldn't get any help. That is not what this should be. She should have been one of the first to get help, considering she's worked her whole fucking life and has never been on assistance, right? So I'm going to move forward. Looking for a second job is not easy. So finding a job that can fit... Hold on, baby! That can fit into my hours as a mom and my current work job, because I don't want to leave it, as well as school, kids, all that. If I get a second job, my rent that just went up is going to go up again, right? Now I get cut off from my food stamps. Now my rent is even higher, and I already pay close to $1,000.
Now listen, we're gonna pause it right there and shout out to the creator. Her name is Blanquita. I'm gonna put her link into the description down below, guys. And I see these stories over and over and over again. And this isn't the stories that we see typically. We don't see people who actually are working, people who are actually, are working super hard, and they have, doing all the things that they need to be doing. We only see the people who, we're taking advantage of the system, specifically from the right-leaning creators, because that's what's getting all the views right now. But in this situation right here, this is a hardworking lady. This is a hardworking woman who has kids, or maybe just one kid. And I know one question that's going to come up is, where's the dad, right? Like, I think that's the big question. Where's the dad? Why isn't he, supporting him? And maybe he is supporting, just in a different way, or whatever the case is. We don't have that context. But this is why I support, the people getting the support where they need. This is why I support, people able to get food stamps. This is why I'm against all the cuts, because you have people like this who are doing whatever it takes. And she's accepting accountability. She's accepting that I don't want to be on this for a whole decade. I don't want to be on these systems for my entire life. She's accepted that, and she's taking steps to move forward. She even said it. If she got a whole nother job, her rent is going to skyrocket. If she got a whole nother job, she's going to have to lose her food stamps. She doesn't want to be on these programs, but in the situation that she's in right now, she's trapped, and it's a constant cycle over and over and over again. And I know people are going to say, oh, she shouldn't have had the kids. She should have, whatever. Yes. And she shouldn't, guys, why does that even matter when we're currently in the situation now? You're talking about things that could have been, maybe if you knew her back in the day, maybe you could have guided her back then, or maybe she had the guidance and she just made a mistake. All of these different factors are irrelevant at this point. We're in the situation now. We're here now. There is literally nothing you can do. And people saying, oh, she should have did this. What do you want to do? Do you want her kids just not to eat? Is that what you're saying, right? Is that it? Please let me know. And I see the comments on the videos. Please let me know. Do you want the kids just not to eat? Do you want the people who are disabled? I'm not talking about her specifically. Do you want the disabled to not be able to eat? Do you want the elderly people who've worked their entire life, or, who don't have the money currently? Do you want them to not eat? Is that what you're saying? Is that literally what you said? Just because you're not getting support, or you don't qualify, or you're not eligible for some of these programs, you think your solution is to just cut it off for everybody, and they just got to figure it out, pull up by their bootstraps and get going. That is your solution to the problem. And by all means, I'm not going to be delusional. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to be, whatever the word. I am not going to be degenerate and say that people don't take advantage of these systems, because absolutely 100%. I actually just watched the video of an entire family who were going out and just getting just junk. And they were saying, oh, I would never work again in my life. No, 100% acknowledge that people take advantage of the system. And yes, there should be a comb through of the system to make sure that, maybe there's I don't know. I think it needs to be reinnovated. However, getting rid of and all these massive cuts and getting like all the money that they're taking away from it and the way that it's just getting shut off right now, I don't agree with it whatsoever. And even as I see people talk constantly about, it's costing money out of my taxpayers' pocket, and we're funding this and all these. The toast lady, for example, she was like, what is the government there for? At the end of the day, and I want to see the comments in the comment section below. Y'all let me know, what is the government there for if they're not going to be there for to support us, support people in need, or people who lost their job, or people who have low income, or people. What are they there for? Aside from military, right? Supporting the military and all these different things. What is the government there for? Just to collect a check? Just to collect money? This is the problem.
And I'm not complaining. I am very grateful for that. And I'm happy I can pay that, my car, my cell phone, the kids. But food is expensive. There are times where I have to go and spend cash for food, as all other people have been having to do their whole lives. And I realize that that is easily a huge portion of my check. I can't get a second job without getting stuck in this cycle of my rent just going up, and now I can't afford to.
I'm going to say one more thing. I'm sorry for pausing, but daycare costs are ridiculous. Daycare costs are through the roof. And by all means, there are some people who do it. There are families that just figure it out. There are families who just make it happen, right? And it sounds like in her situation, she's got a mom or somebody, an aunt or somebody who supported her. And shout out to her for, figuring out. But at the same time, if she goes to work and, maybe that she didn't have a support system, or maybe the dad is not in the life, or she doesn't have a partner, that daycare cost is ridiculous.
Go find another home to get out of housing assistance, because now my rent is up more. I'm working 2 jobs. Other things get discontinued, such as food stamps. So now I'm worrying about how I'm going to feed my kids. So this is a systemic issue where you are stuck. You cannot get out of until you're completely financially stable. You can't be in a situation like me where I'm just starting to now really try to better my life, and I'm trying to get a second job because I'm going to be stuck here. Things go up, things get taken away, and now I'm stuck here figuring it out again, much like all of you. And I'm very happy and grateful for what I do have for assistance, because I know a lot of people don't get it out there. I was in a shelter for 2 years. I saved up money in that 2 years. I still could not get my own place without rental assistance. I just want to make that known, because it is very expensive. So I am still looking for a full-time job or some sort of side hustle, if anybody knows, because this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. But I want you to know that some people need it. I don't want to be on it for the rest of my life, but I have no other choice right now. Homeless for 2 years. I managed to get myself back on track. I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah, and pretty much she's kind of summarizing everything that she's saying. She was homeless for years. Homeless. Without a home. Didn't have anywhere to go. Homeless for, I think she said 2 years, guys. 2 years. Is that the solution? Y'all, like, they've already made being homeless illegal in the United States. So what is the solution? If you want to cut, and that's the thing, even as I'm open to, I'm completely open. I'm objective. I don't have any strong point of view. Well, I have a strong point of view, but I'm open to hear ideas. If you're going to cut these programs, if you're going to get rid of them or whatever, right? Whatever the goal is, what is the solution for people who lose their job, for people who have a job and still don't make the money, right? Especially because grocery prices are through the roof. They're skyrocketing. Like I make so many videos about grocery prices. I don't even think we need to go there. I think that's already a centralized understanding. But guys, what is the solution? What do you think they should do? Do you think they should just let them starve, let the kids starve, let the family starve, let them just figure it out? And and that's the problem. And this is why I make these videos, because there are so many people on the right. There are so many people on the other end who show so many videos in bad faith. There are so many people doing it right now, and it's profitable. It's getting so many views, and so many of MAGA and all these different, conservatives. They're buying it, and don't get me wrong. Like I said, there are people who take advantage, but on a mass scale, these are the stories right here that you don't see enough.